Hey sales fans, it's me, Tyler McLay here of Rex Coaching and Tyler McLay Realty Group. Over $1 billion of lifetime sales, features in Forbes, CEO Weekly, Business Insider, among many others. And we have had an incredible amount of success since launching our coaching program, getting your average agent way up into those six figures, multiple six figures, and a few examples into the seven figures in our very, very short lifespan so far. So we want to continue to bring you the best-in-class coaching content, whether you are in real estate sales specifically or any other form of sales. I want you to please support this page. Give us a comment. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what you didn't like so we can fix it on the next one. Save it, share it. You know what to do. Help us grow so we can continue to help you grow. So let's get into it. I want to read with you some stats on CRMs to get started. Listen to this. The first stat I have for you is this. CRM can improve your lead to sales conversion rate up to 300%. 300%! Why aren't we using it? Here's another one. 42% improvement in sales forecasting. In our business, in sales in general, but in specifically real estate, it's very difficult to plan ahead. Am I going to have this much money in my bank account? Can I afford to do this trip? Buy this new car? Don't know. CRM helps you plan and forecast. I've got another one for you. 47% of CRM users report significant improvement in retention and satisfaction. Real estate is a relationship-based business. We need client retention and satisfaction. We work so hard to generate these leads. We want to make sure we're doing the absolute most to retain them. Here's another one. 29% average increase just by using a CRM in your sales revenue. That's it. 29% average increase in sales revenue. I would strongly challenge that stat. I think it's got to be a lot more. Last stat I'll give you before I get into my CRM tips and tricks. 34% boost in sales productivity. We've all got 24 hours in a day. How can I be more productive? How can I challenge myself to be a little more productive so I can accomplish more in a day than this uber competitive real estate salesperson space? So here are my tips for having and managing and executing a phenomenal CRM. This is what I've done my whole career. This is what I've trained and coached my top performing team to implement. And this is the same strategy that our coaching clients follow. So let's get into it. Two big tips, two big ones. Now, the first concept I need you to understand and grasp is called the first, last, next. And this is a formula for tracking contacts in your CRM. Let me tell you about it. First, last, next. The first time I meet someone, the first time I meet a new potential lead, potential transaction, I need to track the interaction. What did we talk about? Did they just adopt a new puppy named Rover? Are they really curious about paleontology in the Midwest? Are they looking to grow their family? Getting a little tight? Potentially planning to invest when they receive that next bonus check? I don't know, and you're not going to know either if you don't track that first interaction. Now, that will never change, and you can never get it wrong. That's the first one. Their daughter's name is Samantha. Their dog's name is Rover. They've been married for 17 years, and you met them on their 17th wedding anniversary evening. Think of the power that gives you in terms of relationship building as you move forward, okay? Last is the last time you spoke to them. This will be updated every time you have an interaction with this particular lead. When's the last time you spoke to them? What's the last thing you talked about? What are the goals that were discussed? What was the action plan that was potentially alluded to? Okay, and this will be updated every time we speak to this lead. And next, first, last, next time I speak to that lead, this is what holds me accountable. And simply writing down a goal or simply holding yourself accountable by using a CRM or a schedule will make you 200% more likely to accomplish said task. So all I need to do is write in to my notes section, when is the next time I'm going to speak to this potential client or renewed lead, renewed interest, past client, referral partner, whoever it is? When is the next time I'm going to speak to them and why? Why am I going to speak to this client again? What are we going to talk about? What did we discuss today? What am I going to talk about the next time? So every time I go ahead and have to make a phone call, because I will get reminders in my task calendar. If you don't have a task calendar element in your CRM, maybe consider getting a new CRM or use this little piece of magic. Hey Siri, remind me to call George Smith next Thursday at 2 p.m.
Okay, I added call George Smith for October 2nd, 2025, 2 p.m.
Boom. task, calendar, entered. Easy peasy. Now I'm holding myself accountable. I've got a lot on my plate. When I go back to my calendar, October 2nd, next Thursday, and I go back to my calendar and it says, call George Smith. Who's that? I have no idea. Well, hey, I go back into my notes section of my CRM. I pull up George Smith using the phone number, using the name, you name it. First time I met, we met at Franklin's wedding a month ago. That's right. And last we spoke, we talked about the Leafs preseason, if we think they're going to do well, or if, with the loss of Mitch Marner, we're pulling our hair out. How are we going to replace that point production? Okay, next time I speak to Mr. George Smith on Thursday, I might talk about the house that Mitch Marner just bought in Las Vegas, relate real estate to what we just talked about, how I think the Leafs are going to play out. We had a couple preseason games by now. How are we looking? Who's going to replace the point production? And I can ask some curious questions about their goals regarding real estate. First, last, next, implement it into your CRM. Every single lead should be organized in your notes. First time you spoke to them, last time you spoke to them, next time you are going to speak to them. Concept number 2 is even more powerful. And before I get into it, I really would love to encourage you one more time to please subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to this channel. If you're in real estate or sales of any kind, I promise you will learn something that'll benefit you in sales. I commit daily to learning new strategies, new systems, new structures, new psychological advantages that I can implement to give ourselves an edge. And I love sharing them with you guys. I love teaching. I love coaching. I've got past experience as a university professor. I taught martial arts for well over a decade. I love to teach. I love making concepts make sense, dumbing them down, simplifying, and giving you actionable strategies to make more money as a salesperson. So let's get into concept number 2. It's called the 1 to 7. Very simple. Here we go. So the 1 to 7 sales concept is quite simple to comprehend, but it's a little tougher to put into practice. How it works is totally contradictory to what a lot of coaches and personality tests will promote, where I want to try to identify my clients or potential clients' personality type. Are they a blue triangle or a green square or a purple 7. I don't know how these things work. I've never liked them. I do not like them. Self-reflection, personal personality tests, sure. I can't get it wrong. I can't. But if I'm making assessments and judgments and assumptions about a potential client and I get it wrong, then we're just going to be misaligned for the entirety of our experience, and there's a much higher likelihood that I stretch a cold elastic, snap it, boom, gone, see you, move on. So my strategy has everything to do with what I know best, and that is where they stand in their real estate transaction journey. So the 1 to 7 process, 1 being brand new, cold lead, we just met, I can't even remember their first name, but I've got their email and it's in my CRM, and a 7 being a closed transaction. Everything in between, I want to fill. And this helps us do a couple of things. Number 1, helps us conceptualize the elongation of the sales process. This is huge. This is vital. This is super important. I've done whole seminars on this strategy and this how can I say, reduction of cognitive load that is getting a client to a transaction. If I can reduce the magnitude of every ask throughout the journey, I will not only be more effective, but I will be more inclined to build relationships, gain trust naturally, and have more agreement in my potential client when it comes time to make decisions and make movement, okay? Make decisions to actually move the needle forward. So with that being said, let me get into it. I do have a document on my website, on rexcoaching.com. There is a document. You can email us for it, or you can find it on our website. Even if you comment your email, we will send it to you. It's the CRM Systems and Secrets document where I break down the definition of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in the 1 to 7 flow. The second purpose to this, not only elongating the sales process, is again to diminish the impact of the asks. There's a comment I make often, and it's we don't want to propose on the first date. You never want to propose on the first date, okay? It's weird, it's odd, you'd never do it, and very likely you get rejected because the impact of that ask is pretty significant. Maybe all we want to ask for is a second date, ice cream, I don't know, a weekend getaway, maybe even that's a stretch. Maybe that's now 3 or 4. You understand where I'm going with this? The magnitude of the ask has to align with the level of relationship that we've established with the client. All too often, agents are asking clients for their hand in marriage on the first date, and it doesn't align. We need to be asking smaller, less magnitude questions. Would you like to join my email list? Would you like to follow me on social media? Would you mind if I shared an article with you? Would you mind if I returned to your door in a week from now with more neighborhood events that are happening, that are going on? Sure, yeah, no problem. Make it easy to say yes. Great! Now I've got their contact info. Now I've formed a relationship. Now I can move them from a 1 to a 2. Now they're looking for information from me. Now I've asserted myself as an authority for that particular client. And I have the ability, I've given myself the opportunity to follow up again. Hey, you looking to sell your house next month? No. You looking to sell at any point? No. Where's the opportunity to follow up? I blew it. I blew it. But if I simply say, you curious to know what's going on in your neighborhood? Do you mind if I follow up with new market statistics and market information, maybe some neighborhood events? When it's time to change your furnace filter, a little reminder. Gives me an opportunity to touch base again. Gives me another opportunity to close a potential lead or generate a potential lead, nurture a potential lead. So in conjunction, if you can use the first, last, next in your notes column and track first, last, next to maintain and encourage relationships with your clients, you're 95% of the way there. When you implement the 1 to 7 structure into that next piece, the quality of the ask, the magnitude of the ask, make sure that it aligns with the level of relationship. You can never get it wrong. You know exactly what form of value to deliver, and you're ready to go gangbusters and make more money as a salesperson. I promise you, if you implement these strategies, you will make more money. You will be leveraging your CRM as effectively as you possibly can. For more videos like this, please, guys, subscribe. We love what we do. We're so passionate about what we do here at Rex Coaching, and we would love your support in our endless endeavor to bring authority back to the real estate space. Check out our book, The Authority Agent, on Amazon. See you next time. Happy selling.